Hello, hello, hello. We are live. I'm testing this out. I'm here at Cabana Bay. That's why the background looks very different. And forgive me on the quality and the lights and stuff. Hopefully, you can hear me. We're using a different setup. Like I said, we're mobile. So let's see. Not sure if anybody's in here, but nonetheless, today I was expecting just one house announcement, but instead we have a double house announcement. I think that's the first time Horror Nights has ever done that. I mean, they dropped a double on us, which I was not expecting. So we have Five Nights at Freddy's finally confirmed, announced. Everyone can chill out. It is finally here. Yes, Five Nights at Freddy's. Basically, what we're doing in this house is going through the first movie. So if you have any doubts, this is going to be based upon the movie, not the game, but certainly there are going to be elements from the game in there, obviously nods, Easter eggs. But we're going to venture in the footsteps of Mike. And hopefully that means we're not falling asleep in this house because I know I fell asleep multiple times trying to watch this movie. Yeah, I still think that the second one's going to be phenomenal, but that first one, oh man, I fell asleep on that one. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Hello, hello, howdy. Uncle Howdy. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Like I said, I'm using a different setup than my traditional Studio One. So hello, hello, hello. And along with that one, we had finally announced, which is the Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks. And not six like, the number six, but six. So that was announced as well. This one is kind of crazy because they dive a little bit deeper than what people were expecting. So, guests will go head to head with Uncle Howdy, an experience that not only features the Wyatt Six, but honors the legacy of Bray Wyatt. So, that is going to be insane. Horror fans will find them Uncle Howdy together with the rabbit. You got the buzzard, Abby the witch. The pig will be waiting to take retribution on the world, along with guests will be stalked by the presence of the fiend. So lots to be Merry Christmas about, like a lot here. That is insane. Yeah. So how's everyone feeling about these double house announcements? Well, you'll have to stay tuned for that one because that will be a special video. Hopefully, I will shoot that out tomorrow for you guys. Really hoping that I can get that done. Yeah, so we'll be there in the park filming. So stay tuned for that if you're not subscribed. So excited. Yeah. Hello, hello. I just spontaneously want to do this just to get this out here, talk with you guys, see how are you feeling about this. So excited for FNAF. I grew up with the games and the movie. Not gonna. Oh yeah, I know it's something to truly see something that you grew up with and you've loved, and now to see it finally at Halloween Horror Nights represented. I mean, I'm just gonna give you a little secret. The merch they dropped for Five Nights. Ooh, I'm not a huge lore into Five Nights, world, but that T-shirt, I think I'm going to buy it. I think I'm going to buy it. Yeah, I think I'm sold on that one. Um, where's the official announcement? It's actually on everywhere. It's on the main website, and they actually dropped a video for it, so it's out there. It's confirmed. Yeah, a lot of people are not sold on the WWE house, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the stigma of wrestling and how does that go about with Horror Nights, because these characters, and I'll bring them up on the screen, um, these characters look terrifying. I mean, to see them popping out in the dark in whatever sadistic way they're going to like haunt us, it's going to be terrifying. Don't think of a wrestling ring and a gym. It's not that at all. It's definitely going to be a shack. It's going to be darkness. It's going to be lanterns. It's going to be fog. It's going to be all types of stuff that's going to be really scary. And especially like, even if you go in and you don't know anything about the Wyatt Six, you don't know the history, the lore, all that stuff, you can still appreciate the house to just be a house. Now, the closest thing I would say is if you look at triplets from last year, kind of like that, but in a grander scale, more streamlined, more not just all over the place. So that kind of, in a darker setting, more scary setting, I can definitely see this house being a fan favorite and a favorite amongst the general public. I'm just stating that right now. Watch. And I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, it's out there. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've basically gone on the website and it's on there. It's on the media page for Orlando. So not quite sure why it's not out there. Oh, I don't know. That's weird. Also, what's crazy enough, we actually got some more details on some more stuff. So this experience here, the street experience, we actually got a little bit more details for this. So for Mel's Dying Zombies, it says it's time for a graveyard shift as Mel's Dying Zombies take over, eager to serve bystanders up on a platter. What does that mean? I don't know if that just means it's a dance show. Are the zombies going to like roam around? Are they going to be inside serving us food? Is it just on the outside of Mel's Dying, or is it going to be on the inside? We'll have to wait and see once the experience is, live. But the other one, interesting enough, Club Horror. So I'm just going to state the obvious. I'm not a big fan of Club Horror. Not a big fan of it. Don't like the design, don't like the idea. In fact, I'm really surprised that most people are not upset that we're losing a zone. I mean, the Mel's Dying thing was cool because it's something added. We're not losing anything, but we're actually losing a scare zone location. We're down a number versus them having 5 complete scare zones. They're now 4 zones, even though they're longer and they're expansive and bigger. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out this year and whether that's going to hurt or help the event. Granted, a lot of people say that area was not really good for zones, but I've had great zones in there, and I'm always one for at least giving us a zone, even if it's good or bad, versus taking it away and doing something different. I would rather have an extra zone because who knows? It could have been good, could have been bad, but we got Club Horror instead. Now, what's interesting here is it says, on the streets of San Francisco, guests will enter Club Horror where they can snap pictures with original characters, dance to the undead DJ, and party like their life depends on it. Maybe that's a little bit better than what I had thought initially. Now, it says original characters, so I'm not still sold on what this is supposed to be. Is this the HHN bar type of experience? Are we going to have characters roaming around here? Like, who are we going to see? And if it's a dance atmosphere, why are you snapping photos with characters unless they're going to be on platforms and you take pictures with them? I mean, it sounds kind of confusing. Because if you got people dancing and enjoying the music, but then you got people like, hey, I want to get a picture with this character, it feels kind of weird. It's like a two mixture thing of mixing too many things in one pot type of thing. If they just said, hey, it's a dance area, that's it. I don't know, the whole snapping pictures thing kind of throws me off on that one. Yeah, we gained the Lagoon Shell. Yeah, that's true. I would. Hey, I'm excited for that. Give me more of that. I'm really stoked. That's probably one of my most favorite things. Because I need a place to stay while I'm here. I can't sleep, on the streets of Universal. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. When they did the Rob Zombie scare zone, yeah, that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, so the dancers were way up high, obviously to stop any guests from interacting with them or doing anything wrong. So that was good. Um, so maybe it'll be more like that. I'm curious if the DJ is supposed to be like made up to be a character, or is he just going to be a regular DJ? That will be interesting. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Abruptive quick live stream. Yeah, I'll be heading back over to Universal later on. It is extremely hot right now, and I don't want to pass out or have a headache or be sick. Um, if you don't know and you don't live in Florida, right now we are currently under a heat advisory. So, like temperatures are like 95, 96. Real feel, they're probably like 97, 98. So they are way up there. And I walked around in the earlier part of the day and I probably lost a couple pounds. So it is extremely hot out there. So I'm just taking a much deserved break while these announcements dropped. Yeah, I could have probably been there at the drop. You saw Losh. Yeah, Losh was there. He's at the drop right now. A lot of people are probably over there right now at 5 and 9. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's better to come back and try to film a lot of the props and stuff during the later part because it's the afternoon. It'll be died down a little bit more, at least the heat wise. Plus, I want to see what they kind of look like in the darkness or a little closer to dark as opposed to bright morning sunlight, because it's very tricky to film that stuff. But anyway, if you have not saw where is it? Here is the trailer for WWE. Comfort. You suffer in solitude.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks.
And yeah, the Wyatt Sicks. I remember when they debuted the full, the new group. Basically, when they debuted them on WWE, and I was watching the music that they use, the tone, the slow, like them coming out. It's very horrifying. It's very, very terrifying to see them. I'm a big fan of them when they are wearing a mask. I'm just going to say this. I have a rich history of wrestling. Used to watch it, especially much in the older days, like WWF Raw, when they used to do like the Raw versus WCW Nitro, all that type of stuff. That's when I was watching it. So I watched it sort of in its bigger prime era, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane, all that good stuff. So this is more newer school to me. This is more Losh. Losh knows this stuff. I am not really into wrestling as much as I was. So this is more his corner. So if you have any questions, definitely reach over to Losh. Losh can answer pretty much everything about this. Me, not so much. But I will say, um, seeing them in the character, in the mask, and all the stuff that they've done, the cryptid stuff, is really terrifying. It is really good. Really, really good character development. Yeah, impromptu live. Yes, I know it's not nighttime. It's no Dreamport. Yeah, I know. I gotta go get a hot dog, possibly. Hello, hello. It was just a impromptu. Hey, we had a double announcement, so it only felt right to just hop on here and speak with you guys and see what you guys were thinking. Yeah, a lot of people are feeling that way. So don't feel like you're in the, small niche on that. I mean, there's people who are big fans of it, and there are people who are not sold on this or have no interest in wrestling. So I just think of it like this: excuse the wrestling part and just think of them as horror characters. If there was a movie where you dealt with these groups, unless I don't know if they were mythical slashers or something, just think of it like that. There would be great horror characters. Excuse the wrestling just because they're tied to wrestling, but we won't see wrestling in house. It's not represented in the maze. So just think of them as horror characters. That's the only way I can think of it. Not really hyped for this, but at least it's not Blum. Yeah, Blumhouse, man. Speaking of that, we had also this.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring 5 nights at Freddy's and more.
And more. So, yeah, we also got the 5 nights at Freddy's finally announced. And for everyone who has been saying the Arcade Palace over in Universal Studios, is this going to be a 5 nights thing? Is this going to be a 5 nights experience, the arcade experience? We have confirmation, at least as far as the media details. No, it is a house. That is what we're getting. Maybe there's more, maybe, but it ain't that. So everyone that was thinking that or saying that, no, that is not quite the case. We are getting a house. They did state a lot on this one. Let's see. Their journey will bring guests face to face with full scale replicas of the characters from the movie. So that's crazy. They're using the actual full fledged characters that are in the movie are in the house. That is crazy. Usually, what happens a lot with Horror Nights, they will replicate mask, obviously. But this is the first time they're actually using stuff from the actual film. A lot of times they use like references and stuff like that, but from the movie, 100%. That's going to be crazy. I'm very curious of how it's going to work. Is it going to be scary? Are the puppets, the animatronics, or whatever they may be, how are they going to perform? Like when we see the bear move, like is it going to come out and be very slow, or is it going to be terrifying? It'll be interesting if this is going to be like more like a fun type of house. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's a good one. That's for sure a good one. Yeah. Theme team. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, live from Cabana. Surprisingly, I am not on the premium plan, but this is the perfect time to, I guess, stream because everyone's at the pool behind me. If I could show you, I would show you, but everyone's at the pool or at the park right now. So Yeah, I'm curious. Well, see, we saw them for the folks who know, and Albert can attest to this over in Hollywood when they did the Blumhouse in the DreamWorks theater. They actually had the full fledged animatronics in the lobby space, so you can see them. They look very terrifying then, so I imagine they're going to look great in the house, especially when they move about. The Babadook announcement? What do you mean? I would hope it's not Babadook as in the movie. I don't know what that means. Midday bricks. Yeah. Yeah, that's the typical way you do Universal. A lot of people try to hit it open to close. That just doesn't work. You got to do part of the day and then you go and relax. Maybe you hit up the pool, maybe you shower, maybe you sleep, and then you go back to the parks later on. That's the sweet way of enjoying the parks. At least here in Florida. California, it's different because it's not super hot there. You can stay in the park all day and just kind of relax. Here, you need air conditioning. You need to walk through the stores. You need like 20-minute breaks here and there. It's just crazy. I will be there opening weekend. Me and Dreamport will be doing premium Scream Night, so that'll be interesting. We'll both be there. That'll be my first time seeing it. So we'll for sure be having our videos, and of course we'll probably do a live stream and talk about the opening weekend festivities, premium Scream Night, all that type of stuff. I don't know really how many nights I plan on going. That just depends on scheduling and other things because I have a California trip coming up. So we'll be venturing out to the haunts over there. We have Hollow Scream here, so I got to work in some of that and then some of the local haunts if I go to any of those. So I really don't ever know. I know for sure it's always opening weekend and closing weekend are kind of my 200% go to event nights. Beyond that, it just depends. Nope, but I will. As soon as I head back to the park, I'll be trying to get a shirt. Hopefully, it doesn't sell out. They have a notion of these things selling out, and then they're hard to get. So hopefully, I can pop up that shirt, the Five Night shirt. Yeah, time to get to business. Yeah, that's true. How are you guys feeling about Five Nights, Wyatt Sicks? Any of the scare zones, anything announced? Pretty much everything's done. Like everything is fully announced. I predict next week we will probably start getting the Unmasking the Horror tour announcements as far as like what houses are going to be on what, since everything's fully announced. Chainsaw Artists and more. Let me say this: the Babadook is the key there, and yes, Babadook the movie. Oh man, it worked my everlasting nerves. I can't watch it again. But Babadook himself, the thing, it's scary. But the movie, ooh, that tested me really bad. Do you know if the Universal site? Let me see if it states. It doesn't say a actual time stamp. I know usually when stuff gets limited release like this, typically it goes up online like the next day or so. So I would say best case scenario is to check tomorrow and see if it is on the website? And maybe it's just me, but every time I go to the actual merch website and try to like go for Horror Nights, it's always hit or miss. Some stuff pops up, some stuff doesn't. So right now it looks like it is just Terrifier, Jason, and the Never Go Alone merch. So check back in probably tomorrow. They'll probably have it online, at least tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, I believe most of the zones are getting quite there, except for New York. New York's the only one where we're going to probably see it kind of come together at least in the next 2 weeks. But, excuse me, the Crooked, where is it at? The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane looks like it is pretty much finished, other than the house at the end of the street. That's the only thing I think they have to work on. But everything else looks like it is pretty much finished for that zone. Hollywood looks like it is finished, except for some rollout pieces, which we won't see until the event starts. And then they have a lot of work to do on the front and a lot of work for New York. Well, there you go. I had never thought about that. So give merchandise service a call and see if they'll be able to help you, Albert. Yeah, a lot of times, yeah, I'll click on something, I'll see the merch, and then I go to click on a photo or something, and then they'll say like page not found, or it'll just say error, and then I have to like restart the browser or go back. It's always hit or miss. It's weird. But that was it. I just wanted to hop on here and see what you guys thought. Wyatt Sicks. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this house. I think it's going to be insane. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, especially these characters, the way they can play around with the lighting, the lantern. I think there's a lot here they can work with, more so than what they did with triplets. And of course, the bear, man, the bear and the gang. This is going to be quite such an interesting house this year. I don't know if it's going to be a comedy. Is it going to be scary? Is it going to be just a overall fun house? Almost like what we had with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was the fun house. It was scary, sure, a little, but it was fun. So I'm hoping that's what Five Nights is like the Ghostbusters of this year. Anything last minute? That was it. Just wanted to hop on, see what you guys thought about the house announcements. Which one are you more of a fan of today? Which one are you more looking forward to? Five Nights or the Wyatt Sicks? Drop in the comments. Come on. I want to know what you guys think. Yeah, Club Horror. That's an interesting one. I will have to see on Premium Scream Night how that's going to go, and how that's going to develop over time. Is it going to be fun? Is it going to take away from the audience going to Dead Coconut Club is what I'm interested in. Because to me, it's like the whole point of leaving Horror Nights to go to Dead Coconut Club is so you can experience that. But if you're already in the park and you have Club Horror with characters there, what's kind of the point of leaving Horror Nights to go to Dead Coconut Club? So it'll be interesting if they're going to draw an audience to Dead Coconut Club, or is this going to take away from that? Got some FNAF fans. Yeah, FNAF. The bear. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, the second movie looks awesome. I mean, when I saw that trailer, I was like, wow, this looks like it's going to be really good. Wyatt Sicks, all right. Now, the big thing is, I wonder if they're going to sell a lantern. I mean, that would be kind of copying knots, but it would be cool to have a lantern as a popcorn bucket, maybe. Oh, so Terrifier, Terrifier, Terrifier. Yeah. Why am I not surprised on that? Hello, hello, hello. Get some sun. I mean, not get some shade, not sun. You don't want sun. And enjoy Test Track if you're doing Test Track. Expected to be what was once expected to be a budget year has become. That is really interesting because that is where my kind of approach for this year of my mindset of looking at this year is how Horror Nights has corrected everything that they did from last year. They learned a lesson. Now, granted, me and Dreamport always say we enjoyed last year. We have no problem with it. I liked a lot of things last year, but obviously it was not good for the general public. The stats, the reviews they got were really bad. And this is how Horror Nights needed. I'm going to be honest. I think Horror Nights needed a good little letdown. So that way they can realize, like, we need to do better. So maybe this is that turning point this year for them to actually turn around. But I will be interested if everything is as promised, because they're making some big, bold promises with this year. Conservatory, the theming, the houses. Is everything going to live up to what it should be? That's the interesting play. And then we have our anniversary year next year. So that's going to be a big one. Are they going to let things down, or are they going to go even further? It'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm sure Test Track is completely crazy. Yeah, that was that's yeah, that's sorry to hear that. Yeah. You never know with these announcements. Very much excited for art. Give it up for art. Yeah. Here we go. That's left now is HHN. Yeah, that's true. The only thing that's left is, HHN Food, the tribute store, anything like that will be sort of the last bit of announcements. But we know how they are with food. Orlando is very funny with food. We might learn the food a week before, or we might learn it team member preview night. We might see the merch or the food. Not sure it's very mid. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, they've had some really bad years. If I probably look at the track record, I'm sure I can find at least 4 other years that were worse than last year. I'm not in the WWE. I think the Wyatt Sicks house is starting to become my most anticipated. It looks scary. Yeah, I agree. It looks very terrifying. Those characters in the dark, I'm telling you, it's going to surprise a lot of people. I cannot say. That hasn't been announced quite yet. But I did hear there is Dead Coconut Club. There is a theme to it, but it hasn't been publicly announced yet. So I cannot say what it is. Sorry, but it is coming at some point. Yeah, the Clown Cafe. I'm never going to get that song out of my head. And we need art popcorn bucket. I mean, There's so many things this year they could do popcorn buckets on. I mean, you got Fallout, you got Five Nights, you got the Wyatt Six, um, Jason. I don't really think we can do one with that one. Um, but yes, definitely the other ones we could definitely do a popcorn bucket on. I can neither confirm or deny anything that was on the screen. Yeah, you're right. Hollywood still has some stuff to announce. You got the Terror Tram, Blumhouse coming back, Poltergeist. We all know that one. And the two shows, yeah. What's interesting and what's going in the DreamWorks theater? I do not know this year. I don't know. I mean, we know Purge is coming back, but DreamWorks, I haven't a clue what that's going to be. I don't know. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I mean, that would be one way of selling that popcorn bucket is to have a lantern. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see it. But anyway, that is it, you guys. If you have any last minute questions, thank you to everybody. 47 people. That's crazy. Hopping in on a regular Tuesday at 2:50. Who would have thought that? But hopefully you guys are excited. You're filling these house announcements. They are fantastic. Who would have thought we would have gotten a double? Everybody rumored that this was going to be a single house announcement, and then we were going to get a single one later on, but we actually got a double house announcement. So wasn't expecting that, but yeah, I'm going to definitely be heading over to studios and seeing if I can see anything else. Got to film the scare zones for you guys, talk about that. My thoughts on the scare zone, so stay tuned for that. I'm not going to give anything away right now. But that's why you can rewatch it. I know. This was very impromptu. Yeah, that looks like the plan right there. Looks like Minions Avenue would be a scare zone. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Fanta Bar, yeah, that's funny. I mean, we had one last year. Why not? No. Me no light coasters. That's a definitely no. I'll say bye to it from the ground. I'll say goodbye, blow it a kiss or something, but that's about it. Indeed. Yes. Definitely hydrate and lots of cool air. Yes, they did do a double house announcement. They actually dropped both house announcements same time. And it wouldn't be Cabana Bay without those stupid uh, blowing things at the whatever they call those things, the yard blowers that they use. They always use those. So if you ever stay here at Cabana Bay and you want to just sleep all day, you're going to hear that noise. If you guys can hear it, I don't know, but especially more so if you stay on the other side where the doors are facing the pool or the other side of the hotel. I forget that the Castaway or whatever that other side is. It's very loud. Little Boo, yeah. Can't get rid of him. Yeah. I know you guys are. That's true. Yes, Eldridge Terra has a great video. That's right, on the Wyatt Sicks. That's right, he did it because I remember him saying WWE doesn't like for you to use clips, and he was going to find a way around that because WWE, man, they will quick to take down a video or try to just take all the money from it. But that is it. Thank you all for tuning in to this impromptu live. And stay tuned for the video on everything we talk about in actual Universal. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for the support. Zombie Chris, out of here.